Hey there, comic book friends. I'm Travis, and it's Talking Comics. We're going to talk some comics. These are comics for the week of February 12th, 2025. In no particular order, just going to yak about comics. Not doing reviews. I've had some people ask, you know, why do you always say you're just talking and not doing reviews? Because you're talking about the comics, which I am. I guess I just don't consider it a review. A review is more of a formal sort of a thing, and I probably don't have the discipline anymore to do true reviews of books. So I'm just talking that way. If I don't hit points or I don't talk about all the aspects equally and whatnot, I don't feel bad because I haven't failed in what I am attempting to do, because I'm just talking about what hits me, what feels me, whatever kind of a deal. So that's why I just say I'm just talking about the books and random order about whatever hits me. Wearing my shirt from Nowhere Men. Science is the New Rock and Roll. Book came out in 2012, I want to say. I loved the saying then. I believe it's more true now, with current climate being the way that it is. But an awesome book. Eric Stephenson, one of the founders or runners, or I'm not sure exactly. I know he plays a significant role in Image Comics. A book he did, it collapsed. The original artist on the book, who I'm drawing a blank on what his name is right now. He had some pretty severe mental health problems that took him out of the book, and they waited a while for him, and then decided not to wait any longer for him, and brought the book back, and it just wasn't as successful. Partially because I think it was like a 3-year break between the book. I want to say something like that. But it was really interesting, really intriguing. I think that Eric Stephenson has some really cool ideas, because he did another book 2014, 2015. They're Not Like Us, way before Kendrick Lamar. And that book was really cool too. Art by Simon Gaines on that, and I really dug that too. They at least got to end it, but I bet there was a lot more to that book. It just couldn't find. It seemed like it couldn't find the audience to really do all the cool stuff that they could have done with either of those books. The Nowhere Men just seemed incredibly deep and rich. Basically, what if the Beatles were scientists instead of musicians, kind of thing? It was cool. At any rate, let's talk this week's comics now that I've already taken up 5 or 10 minutes of no man's time. Okay, so Bug Wars issue number 1. This is by Jason Aaron, Ahmad Assur, Matt Wilson on colors, Becca Curry on lettering. Double size, $4.99 book, double size thick. It was pretty cool. It's a pretty cool first issue. It clearly builds the very beginning that there's this society that lives in the yard of really small bug people. And when I say bug people, it's like they're somewhat insectoidal, and then there's the actual insects. Of course, there's insects in this yard that clearly wouldn't be in North America. Some of the type of beetles I don't think that are in there and stuff. But still, really cool. Harkens back to that the Sword of Adam, which I really loved. The DC comic Sword of Adam and Return of the Sword of Adam, where Adam's really small and he's running around, he's fighting with bug people and riding frogs, that sort of stuff. But anyway, so it has that kind of feel to it. Starts out with a big, epic battle, makes it sound really grand. The beetle warriors, barbarians, are attacking, said anthill, and then the anthill is hit by humans, hit by a lawnmower, and pretty much wipes everything out. And then we get into the tale of the humans that live at this house, kind of why they've come back to that house, and and then the youngest, a father has died. The father was an entomologist. The youngest is into bugs. The oldest is deeply afraid of bugs because he came upon his father dead, covered in bugs, and a really horrific scene. Chest split open, just all kinds of terrible stuff in this house that they've had to move back to because there's bankruptcy and a lot of stuff going on. Mom is a single mother, stressed out, working 2 jobs, dealing with these 2 teen sons of hers. And this one wanders off into the basement where they're not supposed to be and finds himself in the land of bugs. I'm going to sneeze, so I apologize if I suddenly sneeze, because I don't edit either. That's another thing I don't do. Nope, I'm not going to sneeze. So as a first issue, it kind of sets the groundwork. It gives us a map at the back of this, of the yard, and the unexplored areas and where all the different critters are at for the different stuff. I'm curious to see how these different societies will work with each other in the bug thing. What's going to be the ultimate tale here, or is it just truly just kind of an adventure sort of deal? Art is great. Mark Sorr is an excellent artist. Great action, great with the family, all those aspects of it. Of course, Matt Wilson is a Eisner Award-winning colorist. So, the colors are on point also. Looking forward just to seeing to where it goes, what kind of direction it's going to have. And that sort of thing. Clearly, by and large, the tale is going to be of the young son who has been shrunk down to Beetle World. And it's kind of told narration-wise, part of it seemingly that it's him telling it much later in his life. So, next up we have Lucky Devils, issue number 2 from Charles Soule, Ryan Brown. Up there it tells you from the creators of 8 Billion Genies. It's going to be a TV show from somebody, somewhere, at some point, if that means something to you, if that makes you more excited about a comic or not. It generally does not with me. But it's interesting. I'll watch it if it's a streaming service that I get. Anyway, so this is issue 2. We get a little more background on the structure of how hell is set up. There's these seven pyramids that the demons are trying to work their way up, except it's a funnel, so of course they're working their way down, but it's pyramid-shaped upside-down funnel. And we find out that because there are now 8 billion people, draw back to the 8 billion genies, because there are 8 billion people on the planet now, they are going to open up another funnel. And so this guy who's a tier 6 of 10, tier 6 devil is telling all of his peons, which our 2 devil characters are part of, that they need to work extra hard, do extra good, because we want those managerial positions in that other funnel. Because it's all about influence. This is all about, it's all the whole pyramid scheme thing, right? Your Amway or whatever. It's all about who you influence. So you as a devil, you influence a human. If your human influences 100 people, you're on the bottom, you're on the top funnel, the basically bottom tier, the worst of the worst. Then if your human influences 1,000 people, you move, and then it's 10,000 people, you move, and so on and so forth and whatnot. Same with the head devils, right? It's not just, it's the devils they're influencing and their people they're influencing, right? It's that whole terrible thing. That's what hell is set up on. Our two devils from this thing have decided that they are going to be good. They produce halos above their heads occasionally, and they're going to basically overthrow the system of hell because it sucks. And some craziness ensues in it. And we see a good chunk of our devils finding their own ways of manipulating the humans that they have that they're attached to, which everybody figured were going to be duds, but they have suddenly started influencing more people. What that's going to look like. It's interesting. It's amusing. We'll see where it goes. I mean, I kind of like it. Um, the whole pyramid scheme part of it, sort of a deal, but you know where that's going, right? So curious to see what the overthrow looks like and that part of it. Next up, Boom Studios, it's Grimm, issue number 21. Stephanie Phillips written, Flavano doing the art. I'll be honest, I read this and I'm like, I don't remember the last issue, which I did read, and I forgot that the last issue kind of fixed one of the main villains they had. Now they got this whole other kind of thing going on, and I had forgotten that, which is wild for me because normally, even if there's a big break in comics, I usually don't forget the details once I start reading the next book. I'm still enjoying this book. Now we're kind of doing a what if our main character had lived a different life or that sort of thing, and I'm still not 100% sure why we're offering all these different could have been, would have beens. Sort of a deal. And this is largely due to the fact that her mom, who's a human, had a necklace that if she wore it, she lived for forever, kind of thing. So she stole part of life. And we find out that in that amulet was actually a entity, a person. And that person, we get introduced to that person by the end of this. And we find out that that person is really angry with Jessica because in every reality, it doesn't matter which reality they look at, which timeline they look at, whatever, ultimately they fall in love, and she's angry about that. So now we're going to find out why. I mean, maybe because she doesn't seem to have any controlled destiny around it. I found that part really interesting. So that's going to be kind of where the story goes. We'll get all these wonderful scenes of them walking along through these different, here they meet. We get walking through all these different realities, just different times, and some of it looks like cyberpunk, some looks like Victorian, out in space, and it's kind of like we fall in love. We fall in love, and she seems really not happy about that. So, I'll be curious to see where this goes from here. I just don't know. I mean, this book had a clear fine point as to what it was going to be to start out with. It's kind of gone some different directions, which have been fun. I think partially because probably the book was given the room to do that because of this level of popularity. Well, I'm curious to see where this goes now, too. I mean, it's still tied into the main thing because it has to do with that necklace part of it because we're still working through the whole, dad quit being death, life wants mom for itself, and some of that. So this will all tie into that in some sense, I'm sure. But we're getting way off into the weeds, which I don't mind. I out there, it's way more interesting in the weeds than it is on the nice cut grass, right? So, I'm down for that. I'm just curious as to how long it maintains that. This must have a pretty solid sales, which is awesome. I don't necessarily hear a ton of people talk about it though. So, anyway. Next up, we have from Ahoy Comics, Archaic. This is written by Melissa F. Olson and Sally Caterino does the art. I really like that cover. I'm really enjoying this book. It's intriguing. I want to know what's going on, on the island. Why? How did this family get attached to being the caretakers of this island? That's all really curious. This island of magic and cryptids and stuff, and they can't leave, or they have to have permission to leave from the island itself. The island is an entity. This woman is on it. She's in one quadrant. She can't move to the other quadrants. It's like the island is separated into 4 quadrants, and each of the different types of critters can only stay in their quadrant. It seems to be. She wants out. She considers the whole place a jail. She knows she can't get out, but she's hoping to at least get the internet for some reason. She had the internet before, made some bad choices, and they took the internet away from her. We heard. So I'm real curious about all that. I want to know why they're attached to the island. How did that all come about? And I'm wondering if we're gonna find that out. Um, but how long are we gonna do that? I'm not sure either. Because there's this whole our woman who the mother of this family that's stuck on the island. She has a husband that's supposedly still out there somewhere, and a whole bunch of people that are out for her and her husband. So I don't know how that all what how, are we gonna get back to that part of it or not? I don't know. But it's interesting book. Hexilles issue number 4, written by Colin Bunn, Joe Picardo on art, Milano Martinez doing the colors, and El Torres doing the lettering on the book. I'm still really enjoying this book. So this issue, the kids have all they've traveled to Germany. They're gonna go to this castle and supposedly, I don't know, they think they're gonna mess up the demons. Well, they land in Germany and there's already a car waiting for them. The demons already know they're coming. They get there, they're invited in. There's this wonderfully pleasant person there that's really happy to see them. She seems to be an immortal human, not one of the demons. But she's like, look, you should just embrace this. You're going to get all kinds of cool stuff if you embrace this beyond just your powers and whatnot. And so some of them are slowly being suckered into that. But one gets a warning from one of the siblings that it's dead and being tortured there at the castle. I say dead and being tortured because that's really what's happening. They're dead, but their soul is being tortured, and it is, affecting the spirit that's trying to warn one of the kids about what's going on. I love some of the panel work on this book. It's really cool. It's just a cool edge. I like this page here where they're talking, and some of the talking is coming from the marble panels on the floor, just because of the reflection and whatnot. I don't know. It's just a cool way to deliver those. Basically, a page of dialogue, of kind of a cool way of delivering it, sort of a thing. So I like this page over here too. Just this woman introducing herself. We get her piercing eyes, more of her talking, and then her talking. She's delivering some shenanigans to them, but there are still the demons. I love the demons. They show up in a pack, and they all say the same thing. It's just in multiple different word balloons, and I love watching the word balloons swap around sometimes, as they really want their due. They want their souls of these kids that have been promised to them, but the kids don't really want to give it up, and the kids have at least figured out that they can't just take them. The demons can't just take them, even though they've been told. There's our dead sibling trying to warn one of them, whatnot. But I don't know, it's a pretty cool book. Wasn't sure to start out with issue 1 into issue 4. It's been pretty cool. Love the way it looks. Curious to see how or if the kids get out of this thing. So I'm curious and interesting. Those are my favorite words. Okay, The Moon is Following Us, issue 6. This is the new arc. We get a further introduction into the nightmares here. The nightmares kind of inform our parents just how bad things really are, and some messed upness about the whole thing. We get to see a little bit more about the turncoat also, and Pigface. Still just really enjoy this book. I feel like this issue kind of sets up what's coming next. It being the beginning of a new arc. It's not a reset point, but it's definitely a point of, okay, this is what happened then, this is where we're going now. Sort of an issue, kind of changes the playing field, as it were, and the weapons of war that are going to happen here, for them to try and figure out what exactly they're going to do next. So still great stuff, still awesome. Riley Rosmo art, and Daniel R. Johnson words have been pretty awesome. Continue to be the way. And I just love the way the book is designed. I love the fact that occasionally you get these pages of the waking, and in those waking pages we get, it's Daniel R. Johnson doing the art has been pretty cool. So this goes to 10 issues, so 4 issues left. see if we can save our kid or not. Batman Dark Patterns, issue number 3, written by Dan Waters, artwork by Hayden Sherman, and colors by Farrell. And if you happen to have watched my new comic book day video where I was talking about these, and I said, that's a different name on color, I don't recognize it. I just didn't recognize it. It has been the same colorist all the way through. So no changes there. It all looks the same. It all looks awesome. It's such a great story. This is the end of a mystery. So this is 12 issues. My understanding is that it's written in 4 arcs, 4 little small arcs of 3 issues each of a mystery each. So the next issue will be another new mystery or whatever going on and whatnot. Really love this. Love the social commentary that gets delivered in the thing. The artwork, like I said, is brilliant. Cool panel work and design, and just Hayden Sherman. I'll keep talking about how great they are. They are firing on all cylinders, and are amazing. I hope that the level of output that they're putting out as they're doing multiple books like this at the same time, I hope that's a realistic schedule for them. Way back in the day, the magical Jack Kirby would do 70 plus pages a month somehow. and now modern comics, it's like, it's a struggle to get 20 pages done for a monthly title. So how Hayden's doing it, I don't know, but it's pretty awesome. I really love the way this ended out. I mean, this small story and the resolution with the Pain Man was interesting. I'm curious to see if this coroner, boys, wrong, hard time thinking of the name. The coroner that was introduced in this 3 issue, are they going to be around more or what? Or was that just kind of a weird red herring to get us, to make the bad guy slip through the cracks and whatnot? I don't know. So great lines in here. Batman delivers some awesome lines. For us, the little guys beating up the big guys was great too. Just really enjoying this Batman book. Batman as a whole, I mean, I haven't been reading the main title, but the other Batman works that are out there right now are just really on point. It's Wonder Woman and Batman, probably Superman too, because I'm not a big Superman fan, so I'm reading Superman. Like a golden age for all of these books right now. It just feels like it's the same stuff. I mean, because these characters, they can only move so far outside of the regular, normal parameters of what these iconic characters are and can be. But it still feels like a new age of enlightenment for these books and what they're doing with them and stuff. And it's just really cool as an old time fan to be excited about that stuff. So pretty cool stuff. Next up, we have issue 4 of Where the Monsters Lie, Cull-De-Sac. More wrecking of trying not to sneeze again. More wrecking of serial killers in this this book. There's some more good chuckles because it's just some of the stuff is ridiculous. And clearly moving forward to potentially another small series. I would guess out of this, written by Kyle Starks, who can write some fun stuff. Peter Kowalski, which is why I originally got the book in the first place, because I like his style of art. I like his line work, and I like he still uses cross-hatching and stuff like that to add weight and value to the art, and so I really like that. That appeals to me a lot. So I typically get most stuff that the guy does. So yeah, just kind of a fun romp. I don't have a lot to say about it. It is what it is. It deals with these ridiculous movie style serial killers and one guy that's basically kind of wiping them out now. So, and finally this week, my favorite book probably of the week, When I lay my vengeance upon thee. I love the title just because it's so ridiculously long. This is issue number 2, written by Gus Moreno and art by Jacob Robelka. I don't know. Love his art. Head cold's getting to me. I love the art in this a lot. The story is also really cool. It definitely is an Exorcist type story, but it's as much about what is haunting our 2 priests who have now been teamed up together as it is what's going on around them. Our main exorcist, Hunter, he is carrying some baggage, which is great because he's also telling this new guy that he's supposed to be, not this guy, but the new guy that's in this, who he's supposed to be training, that you have to let go of the baggage, because if you don't let go of that baggage, something is going to use it against you. And he's like, oh, what's going to use it against you? Whatever it is you're battling is going to use that against you. And he basically implied heaven, hell, or on earth, that will get used against you. But the guy is clearly carrying baggage. In this issue, we go to meet a kid who's supposedly sickly and dying. They get there. The kid's potentially possessed, or something around the place is possessed. The father is out in the field with a double-barreled shotgun shooting his horses in the head. Blam, blam, because something's wrong with them. They had this conversation with mom. She's like, I didn't really want to tell you what I thought was going on because I thought I was crazy. It's this person, that's possessing him. I've seen him. It's another priest who has recently died, who's connected to our main exorcist guy, and some craziness ensues. I don't want to spoil the whole thing, but it's just the art. I don't even know how to begin to talk about to explain the art. It feels like the artist who, in some ways, the artist who did Scream, which I'm drawing a blank on his name right now. I should look it up before I got on. The colors, the backgrounds being these kind of smudged watercolor look to give everything texture and depth without having to spend all that time drawing everything in the background. I think it's just really smart. It's just really, really cool. They find the possession is going on. That his horses that he's shooting have something trying to be born out of them. And so they try burning them, which doesn't seem to completely work either. One of the things I want to mention, if I can find it, that was super impressive. I really, really liked it a lot. I should have marked it so I could find it later on. It's a piece of lettering that I just thought was super smart. There it is. So probably on the camera, it will not pick up. Okay, so it says, what about Andre, right? Well, in really faint red, right underneath it and kind of tucked up underneath Andre, it says Alex. And our priest is there. What'd you say? Because Alex is a loved one. That's one of the things that's haunting our main exorcist priest here. And I thought that was such a smart, cool way of when somebody says something and you either think you heard them say something else, so both things are there. Such a smart way to letter that. I don't know. It's lettered by Becca Carey. That's the second thing she also did, the Bug Wars. And I don't know if that was her choice, if that was a writer choice, how that visual choice was made, but that is such a cool way of this haunting of this guy, and to slip that in. That it's when I see stuff like that I have not really seen before in comics, it just makes me super excited. It's just like, oh gosh, somebody somebody slipped in another technique that me and 40 plus years of looking and reading comic books hadn't seen. Not that I've read everything by any means. I certainly haven't, but it's just really cool to see a new something slipped in somewhere that I haven't seen. It's just like, wow, that's so cool. And it was just really, really cool, really, because it's super faint. But it's clearly also there that he thinks he hears asking about his loved one that's gone. It's just really, really, really cool. Super excited for where else this goes in this book. It's really dark. The art, the atmosphere of it really hangs on every page, and that makes it also excellent. Yeah, just really, really good stuff. Really excited about that. And like I said, that little bit of something there just put it right over the top for me as a whole, wow, this is something new. Anyway, that's it for this week, though. Thanks for watching. If you watched, if you read these books, what'd you think? Are you reading this? What'd you think? Anyway, have a great one, everybody. Catch you next time.